Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Keys from Black Quarterback Series back with another video. Relatively short video, but I want to keep my streak up of posting at least every Sunday or some part of the weekend. So we're going to get into this right now. So we got, as I check my notes here, we have first topic is the Bears. So we're gonna go through the NFC North. I kind of want to talk about the NFC North today, but we're going to use the backdrop of the Bears to talk about the NFC North. So, first off, I don't think they're going to win very many games. I think they're going to do okay, and that's been extremely generous when I say they're going to do okay. I think Justin Fields is going to have a good decent year, much better than last year. I think he's going to make strides. If anything, if preseason tells us anything, it's that he's going to make really, really good strides this season, and he's going to be a much better sophomore than he was a freshman, if that makes any sense. I don't think the Bears are going to win more than 5 games. If they win over 5 games, I'll be very surprised. They'll probably be in contender for the number 1 pick. But I don't think they're going to do very well this year. Justin Fields is going to be sacked a lot, but the main topic, as this says in the thumbnail, survivor of the fittest. Will Justin Fields even make it through the season? Will it be a Joe Burrow type of situation? So he needs to take better care of himself. I think we all know that. He needs to take much better care of himself, because he tends to take a lot of unnecessary hits. Now, that's just the par for the course with a runner. That's just normal for a runner, but I think he just has to take better care of himself, whether it's getting out of bounds when he needs to get out of bounds, sliding when he needs to slide, and I just think he just needs to take much better care of himself. And I think he'll do that this year. I don't know if he'll be a Pro Bowler, because in the NFC, he might be a Pro Bowler, definitely. It just depends on what Kirk Cousins does. And as I said, Kirk Cousins, let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings. So this shout out to my boy. He's a huge Minnesota Vikings fan, and he's one of the reasons I even wanted to make this video to begin with. So the Minnesota Vikings. This is their make or break year. They have a new coach, more offensively minded. Everybody thought Zimmer was the problem last year. They were in a lot of close games last year, but just couldn't close the door because the ineptitude on offense. Cook needs to stay healthy. And Kirk Cousins needs to just maintain, if not raise his bar of play. You got to beat Green Bay. I think if they beat Green Bay both times, that's the division. They had to beat Green Bay. So I think they'll do well this year. I can see them. In order for them to reach their maximum potential, Kirk Cousins has to be in the MVP conversation. If he's not in the MVP conversation this year, they didn't win enough games. And there's no more excuses for Kirk. You got all your weapons. You got Jefferson. You got Cook. Let's get it together. This is their year, make or break. Now, I'm not even going to waste time on the Lions. The Lions are terrible. They're going to be terrible, and they'll forever be terrible, because the Ford family is the Ford family. I'm not even going to waste my time on that. So, and the last team in the division, of course, is the Packers. There's chinks in their armor now. I don't see Aaron Rodgers having a good season because he has nobody to throw it to this year. Aaron Rodgers, with everything else going on with Aaron Rodgers, I think he's just resigned to the fact that he's going to do what he wants to do. Now, Aaron Rodgers has lifted that team to 10-win seasons every year going forward since 2009. But when are you going to make the big plays in the big games to win it? And that has really nothing to do. That has nothing to do with the regular season. But I think it's the Vikings' year. I think it's going to be the Vikings' year. I think they might be a first-round exit out of the playoffs because they have nobody. If their defense gets better, then they can play a different type of style of ball. But I just don't see them playing a different style of ball with having Aaron Rodgers there. So I think it's going to be a rough year. They probably still win 10 games, but I don't really see Green Bay as a legit contender this year, just based off the fact that what is he throwing to? Devontae left a crater in that offense. It's going to take 4 or 5 guys to replace that. And they got all rookies and second, third year guys. All number 4s and 5s. And Aaron Rodgers is relying on one of those guys to be a starter. He was relying on one of those guys to have 1,000 yards. I don't think it's going to happen. So that's my mini podcast for the week. Let me know what you guys think the NFC North is going to do this year. We're going to have one more. We'll probably have one more video before the regular season starts next year. And see you guys later on in the week. Peace.